Good morning. In this video, we will discuss Ubuntu arrays. Like we will try to discuss how to initialize an array, maybe integer array or a string array, and how to print the elements of the array, and how to search an element in an array, how to insert a new element, how to delete an existing element, and how to update an existing element. So all those things we will discuss. Okay, let's see one simple example. We will initialize an integer array and we will write a loop to print the elements of the integer array. So let's say okay, so here the question is, we are going to write a function. So we are going to write a function. That function will print the elements of an integer array. So the caller initializes an array, integer array, and it calls a function. So the function is going to print the elements. Okay. So let's start the program. So I'll write the function, then I will initialize the array and then call the function. So let's assume that the function is print array. So let's say this is the function name, print array, beginning of the function. Now, okay, before printing the array elements, let's see one thing, like I'm going to print how many elements are there in the array. So I'm going to use the echo statement, the size of the array, like I mean to say how many elements are there. So the size echo the size of the array is, so how many elements? Let's say the array has 10 elements, 5 elements, something. I'm printing that. So if you want to find the size of the element, you calculate the size by, okay, this is set bracket, the set bracket and hash followed by the array name. Let's say the array name is array. Okay, and in the square bracket, mention the asterisk. When you mention asterisk, it's going to take all the elements. So, if the index asterisk, mean array index, I'm writing asterisk, it's going to take all the elements. So, close the set bracket. So, this one will return the elements of the array, hash array name, inside square bracket, write asterisk. So this one will return number of elements in the array. Okay, the size of the array. Okay, now I'm going to use the for loop. For I in, the for in loop, I'm going to use the for in loop. So for in the array elements, the list, I'm going to give the list here. We already discussed the for in loop. So this is for in loop works with a list of elements. So the list of elements, how do you give? Same like above, this inside the set bracket, mention the list of elements. So here I'm going to say the exclamation symbol, array name, inside the square bracket, asterisk. Okay, here is the exclamation. So I'm going to take the list of elements, all the elements. Okay, start the loop. Now you print the element, echo let me print the index like element number 1 is like 55, element number 2 is 75, something like that. Okay, so print like that. So element number 1. So 1 means that is the index. Element number 0, element number 1. So I'm saying the index. So $I. This one will take the value of the index. I is the index. Is it? Is, and the variable here is the array element. I'm going to mention the array element. You know, in Java we say A of 5, A of I, something like that. So the same way we are going to mention. So remember, the array comes inside the array variable name comes inside the set bracket. So the array inside the square bracket I, close it. Okay, so here in arrays we are going to deal with the set bracket. Remember this one. So this statement will print element number 0 is something, element number 1 is something, element number 2 is something. Okay, so your procedure or the function ends here. Now I'm going to declare the array. Array is just array. Okay, equals. I'm going to give certain number of values, initialize the values for the array. So open the bracket. Inside the bracket, you give the set of values. Delimiter is space, no comma. So every element has a space in between. So let's say the elements are like maybe 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So let's have 5 elements. Fine. Now I initialize the array. Now I call the function so that the values of the array will be printed. So what is the function name? Print array. So here I call the function. Okay, let's try to see the output. Okay, the size of the array is 5. And you remember that we gave the values 10, 20, 30, 40. So all those values are printed here, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. Actually, I have a echo statement here. Here. Because of this unnecessary echo, we had unnecessary output. So I removed that one. Okay, that's fine. So this is about how to initialize an array and how to print an array elements. The same way we can deal with the string elements. Okay, so let's try to have another question. Sorry, another program. So the question is, we are going to write a function . So string array is the target now. So in the main program, you are going to initialize So the same thing we are going to do here, but this time we are going to declare an array of string values. And I'm going to print the array of string elements. Okay. So the same thing. Let's try to have the function. I'm going to call the same thing, print array. Inside the program, same thing, like the size of the array is You know already how to print the size of the array is dollar set bracket. Inside the set bracket, you mention the hash and then array name. Inside the square bracket, asterisk for the size. And now you start the for loop. Here you mention the list. Okay, so again follow the same thing inside the set bracket. Here exclamation array name asterisk for all elements. Fine. Do is the beginning of the loop. Here I print the element. Okay, so I told you last time also we did element number like 0 is this, 1 is this, something like that. So here I'm printing the index, and again I'm printing the each element of the array. So again it goes with the set bracket, array name, inside the square bracket the index which is I. Fine. And then close the loop and close the procedure. Now initialize the string array. The string array name is array, and here you need to mention the elements. Okay, let's assume that you have some courses, course names for example, or course code. So CS101 another value, CS202 another one, CS, okay, sorry. So these are the string values. Delimiter is space. So elements are separated by spaces. Maybe 203, maybe 204, maybe 205. So these are the elements also. And call the function which is print array. So let's try to see the output. Okay, the size of the array is 5 because we initialized 5 elements, and these are the elements of the array. Element number 0, 0 is the index. You already know the index always starts from 0. Okay. Okay, we will modify the same program in small way. Instead of, let's assume that here the array contains the list of course code, CS101, 202, 203, something like that. Assume that it's going to have the course name. Okay, let's say if you are having the course name, maybe the course name is operating systems. The second one is like software engineering. This is second course, okay, and the third course is like database systems. So there are three course names. I am giving it in the array: operating system, software engineering, database systems. Fine. So let's try to execute array 2. Can you see the output? It says the size of the array is 6. Actually, I wanted to give 3 elements only, like operating system, software engineering, and the database systems. Only 3 course names I gave, but it says the array elements are 6. And what are the 6? Operating, this is one element. Systems, another element. Software, another element. Okay, actually, this is what I want. I want operating system as one element, but the delimiter here is space. If there is a space, it's like kind of the element stops there. So the elements are separated by space here. So that's the thing. This space separates the two. Okay, operating is considered as one element, system is another element. So how can I do my way? Like I want to have a string which even contains the spaces. Okay, So put the value inside the quotation. So what you have inside the quotation is one element and another value starts here. You can have spaces in between. Now it's allowed. Okay, so in this way, I can even clearly say that, yeah, now this is the way I want. Even here, the space is the delimiter. I'm not giving any comma, but the spaces inside the quotation are considered as a string value. The spaces outside the quotation is considered as the delimiter. Now let's see how the output is. The same program, but the output is different. See, the size of the array is 3. This is what I want. I want to have array of 3 elements. The 3 elements are the 3 course names: operating system, software engineering, database systems. Is it fine? If you want to have a string value that needs to contain spaces, give the value inside double quotation. Okay, fine. So this is about how to initialize array elements and how to print the array elements. Okay then, so we try to print the elements. Let's try to have how to insert an element. Okay then, so how are we going to insert a new element? Remember in Java, the array is going to have a fixed size. So you declare an array which is having 5 elements and then you insert only 5 elements. It's not like that here in Ubuntu. During execution time, you can add the element at the end of the array. You can insert new elements. Okay, so this is what we are going to see now. So the question here is, we are going to insert a new element into the array, existing array. Okay, so we are going to insert a new element at the end of an existing array. You already have, for example, array of 5 elements. I'm going to insert a 6th element or 7th element. Can you get the idea? At the end of the array, I'm going to insert a new element. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to do it in a function. You know how to write a function, so let's put it in a function. So I'm going to put it in a function. So the same way like before, initialize. So initialize the array. So I'm going to have an array of 5 integers and I'm going to call this function. So that function will insert a new element at the end of the array. Okay, let's try to have the function. So the function name is insert array. So here I'm going to read the new value from the user. So read using the prompt. Let's say the variable name is element. Now I'm going to find out the size of the array. So size equals dollar. I told you already, we are going to use the double bracket operator to calculate the size and calculate and assign it to the variable. So hash array name inside the bracket asterisk and set bracket and followed by the double parenthesis. Now assign the value, the new value into the position. The position is the one you just calculated array. Okay, so how come the position is the array? So the question is insert a new element into the, you are going to insert a new element to the end of the array. Okay, I will explain that. Let's assume you have an array of 5 elements. So these are the 5 elements. So what will be the index of the elements? The index of the first element is 0, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. What is the size of this array? 5 elements are there. So the index 5 is going to be the 6th element. So I will be inserting the 6th element in index 5. So when you calculate the size, it will tell you the size of the array in that index. Consider it as the index, and in that place you add the new element. Okay, fine. So array of the index, which is the size, equals the new element. Okay. I'm going to use the double bracket, new element, and then double bracket. Fine. So this is the way I'm going to insert a new element into the end of the array. Okay. So I need the index for inserting an element. For that index, I calculate the size. Okay, fine. Now I want to know whether the new element is inserted or not. So let's print the whole array. So this is the same loop that we used it in the last exercise. So I finished the function. Now initialize the array. And call the function. Function name is insert array. So let's try to save the program and execute the program. Enter new element. Let's say the new element is 90. So you see the new element. Okay, one more time. New element is 45. So the new element is added in the index 5. Okay, how do we calculate the index? Very simple. If you calculate the size of the array, that's going to be the index for the new element. From the same array, I can insert a new element. So what is the size of the array now? Now it is 6. So in index 6, add the new element. Okay. So in this way, we can insert new elements into the array. Okay, in this program, we will be trying to search for an element in an array, and if the element is found, we are going to print found, or else we are going to display not found. So this is the question we are going to discuss now. So the question here is, we are going to write a function to search an key in an array of integers. Okay, so we are going to have a caller to initialize an array of 5 integers and call the function. With parameter. Call the function with parameter or passing value. Call the function with key as value to the function. With the key. Okay then. So now let's try to have the function. Function is search array. In the search array, I'm going to have a variable called flag, which is initialized to -1. If the value of this variable find is still -1 until the end of the execution, that means the element is not found in the array. When there is a match with any of the element in the array, the corresponding index number of the array will be assigned to this variable find. So if the find value is not -1, we find the value. If it is still -1 until the end of the execution, not found. Okay. So I'm going to pass one value to the function, that is the key I'm going to search. Okay. So let's print the key, echo. So the first argument, I'm going to have only one argument, that is the key. Okay. So let me start the program, the loop, for in loop. This is the list of the variables, the list of the values. So I'm going to search, is the array of I is equal to the key, then we find it. Okay, array of the I value is equal to the key. Okay, so array of I is equal to the key, which is the first argument. If it is true, then the find value is going to be changed. Okay, let me say let find equals the index. Else, okay, wait a minute. If I find the element, I don't have to search the second occurrence. The question is, do you have the element in the array or not? If you find it, yeah, that's fine. So you don't have to continue the loop. So break the loop. This one will come out of the loop as like Java. I don't have the else part. If it continues until the end of the array and it doesn't come out from the beginning of in the middle, then the find value is still -1. So that means the element is not found. Okay, let's check. So again, I'm going to have another if. So let's check the value of the variable find. If it is maybe, let me check. If it is equal to, is it equal to -1? If so, then echo is not found in the array, else is found in the array at position. What is the position? I is the position. And I don't have anything for if. My loop is already over. My function is over. Initialize the array with certain numbers. Question says 5 numbers. So let's initialize, call the function which is search array, and it has one value, that is the parameter I'm passing to the function key, what I want to search inside the array. So this is the program. So the search value what I pass is the 10. You know already we initialized 10. So 10 is found in the array at position number 0. Fine. Let me check the, change the key value. Let's try to change. We have 10, 20, 30. Okay. Let's try 50. 50 is in position number 4. So when you execute, it should say, yeah, 50 is found in array at position 4. So let's try to change the key value, something like 500, where I don't have that value in the array. So it should say not found. Yeah, 500 is not found in the array. Okay, so in this way, you can search an element in the array and you can print a message whether the element is found or not. So now let's try to have one more example for updating or changing a particular element to another value. Updating an element. Okay. So the question is, we are going to search for an element in an array and change its value. So this is going to be done in a function only. So here, function to search for an element. Okay, same thing. We are going to initialize an array of 5 elements and call the function to update. Okay, so the function name is update array. So the same thing I'm going to do, like in the previous example searching, I'm going to have a flag which is assigned to -1. If it is still -1 until the end of the execution of this program, the element is not found and we didn't update. If the value changed to something, so we found the value and we go to that index and search, set the new value. Okay, we go to the particular index and set a new value according to the question. Okay. So I'm going to search a particular element and that is passed as a value or a passing value to the function. So let me call it as a key. Okay, never mind. The first argument, $1 is going to be the key. Okay, $1 is the key. Okay. So let's print it. So this is the one we are going to search. The element to be updated is the one I receive, the function receives from the caller. Okay, $1, the first argument. Okay, let's try to figure out. I need a for loop. For in, yeah, of course, we need to have the list. So the list is going to be like this. Okay, this is the same loop which we used before for searching a particular element in an array. Okay then, so what we did, we start a for loop and we check, is that the first element is the key we are searching, then we change the value of the variable find and break the loop, or else you continue the next iteration and so on. Now check. If did we find the value, like if the find value is equal to, is it equal to -1, that means we did not find it. Okay, so we did not find it. In case if we find a particular value, we need to change our value, we need to change the value. So let me print $1 is found in the array. So again, in is going to be a keyword. So I prefer not to use those keywords. Okay. So $1 is found in the array. Now you change the value. So how do you change? Array name inside the bracket find is equal to the new value. So let's say the new value also I pass. So let's say the second argument. First argument is the key I am searching. Second argument is the new value. I want to change it. Fine. So now I changed. I found the value. If I found it, I changed it. So if is over. We want to know that whether the value is changed to the new value. How do we check it? Again, we are going to use the for loop. Okay, so we finished with the loop and we finished with the if. Okay, if we find it, we have that. If we don't find it, okay, let me put it inside the loop. I change it and I print it. So all these things, let me put it inside the loop. Or else if we put outside the loop also, it's fine. Okay, let me put it outside. Echo the array values are. Okay, in this way we can have a different one. My function is over. Initialize the array, which is going to have some 5 elements. So let's have 5 elements. Call the array, which is call the function which is update array, 2 parameters. One, I'm going to search, mean to say this is the key. I'm going to search 10 and I will change it to 100. So let's see the output. Okay, let's execute the program. So let's execute the program. I'm going to search a element which is 10. If it's found, then we change it to 100. If it is not found, we don't do anything. So the element to be updated is 10. 10 is found in the array. So this is the array elements. So 10 is now changed to 100. The rest are all same. Let's go back to the program, change it to a different value. We are passing two numbers to the function. So let's change it to, for example, 1 and 100. I'm searching for 1. I'll change 1 to 100. By the way, we don't have the value 1 in the array. So it should say not found. See, 1 is not found in the array, and the elements of the array as it is. There is no update. So this is about the searching a particular value and changing its value. Okay, so this is about another exercise. Okay, in this exercise, we will discuss how to delete a particular element in an array. So this is a dynamically created array, not like Java. So as the array can be dynamically inserted with new elements, it can also be deleted. So the array elements can also be deleted. So you don't have to worry about the order. You can delete any element, like the first element or second element or last element. Any element, it can be deleted. Okay. So this is the question we are going to discuss. So the question here is, I'm going to write a function to delete a particular element from an array of integers. Okay, so in the main program, I'm going to initialize an array of 5 elements and call the function. A particular element. So I'm going to pass that particular element as a value parameter to the function. I'm going to pass the value to the function. Okay. So the function name is delete array. As like before, I'm going to have a variable find initialized with -1. And the key element, what I'm going to search, the element to be deleted is the argument I pass it to the function. Now let's try to search the element in the array. So if the element is found, then I change the value of the variable find. Okay, so this loop, as like before, it searches the element, it searches the array. Here I missed the I. So I'm going to search and if it is found in the array, I change the variable find with the corresponding index. Okay. So if we find it, we can proceed to delete it. Okay. So let's check it. If the value of find is equal to -1, then we find it. Sorry, -1 means we did not find it. So is not found inside the array, else we find it. So if we find it, delete that element. So there is a command to delete which is called unset, and then give the element which I want to delete. I want to delete this element. Okay, then array of find. Okay, find is the index of the particular element which I found. Is it? If it is equal to -1, I didn't find it. If find value is not equal to -1, you have the value inside the array. So find is the index of that particular element. So unset is the command to delete an element from the array. So your if is over. Before the if is over, let me print the array elements. So echo the array elements after delete. So the for loop is over, if is over. These are all else part of the if condition, else part. Okay, whatever we write, we write the unset command and a loop. All are in the else part. Your procedure is, the function is over. Initialize the array and then call the array with the value to pass to the function. Sorry, call the function with the value to be passed. Function name is delete array. Let's say I want to search 20, I want to remove 20. If it is there in the array, remove the element. If it is not there, no problem. You can't remove. So array 6, the element to be deleted is 20. So after the 20 is deleted, you have 10, 30, 40, 50. There is no 20. Okay, let's go back to the program. Let's change it to some other different value which is not in the question. Let's say 200. So not in the array. 200 is not in the array. We can't delete it. So it says the element to be deleted is 200, but 200 is not found inside the array. So this is the way you can search for a particular element and you can remove the element from the array using the command called unset. Unset command is used to delete an element from the array. Okay, so this is about deleting an element from the array.